David Karp is an American web developer and entrepreneur. He is the founder and CEO of the short-form blogging platform Tumblr. According to Forbes, Karp's net worth exceeds $200 million, and Tumblr has been valued at $800 million. On May 20, 2013, it was announced that Yahoo and Tumblr had reached an agreement for Yahoo to acquire Tumblr for $1.1 billion. Karp would remain as CEO of the company. Karp began his career as an intern under Fred Sabert at the animation company Frederator Studios, where he built the studio's first blogging platform and conceived, wrote, and edited their first internet video network, Channel Frederator. Karp went on to work for online parenting forum Urban Baby until it was sold to Connect in 2006. Karp then started his own software consulting company, Davidville, where he worked with computer engineer Marco Arment on projects for clients. During a gap between contracts in 2006, the two began work on a microblogging website, which was launched as Tumblr in February 2007. As of December 1, 2014, Tumblr hosts over 213.1 million blogs. In August 2009, Karp was named Best Young Tech Entrepreneur 2009 by Businessweek, and in 2010, he was named to the MIT Technology Review Trail 35 as one of the top 35 innovators in the world under the age of 35. Early life: born in New York City, Karp grew up on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. His parents are Barbara Ackerman, a teacher from San Anselmo, California, and Michael D. Karp, a film and television composer. He has a younger brother named Kevin. His parents separated when he was 17. Karp attended the Kowloon School from age 3 through 8th grade, where his mother teaches science. At 11, he began learning HTML and was soon designing websites for businesses. Karp went on to attend Bronx Science for 1 year before dropping out at the age of 15 and started homeschooling. At the time, Karp had aspirations of getting into a college in New York or MIT and saw homeschooling and doing other projects on the side as a way to impress the colleges. Karp never returned to high school or earned his high school diploma. Marco Arment, the first employee of Tumblr, would later recall that Karp was keen to avoid letting his age shape people's assumptions of him. In the early days of Tumblr, David Karp didn't unregistered trademark tell anyone his age. He hired me when he was 19, and I worked for him for over a year before I learned that and even then, I only knew because he let it slip in an interview. He wanted to keep it quiet for as long as he could because he knew that as soon as it got out, every story about Tumblr would just be about David unregistered trademark's youth. He was right. After that, unregistered trademark gave hours-long interviews with big newspaper and magazine writers, trying to tell them all about the product, and the article would come out as a vapid fluff piece about how young he was. It took years for Tumblr to get out from under that image in the press. Career: Karp began interning at age 14 for animation producer Fred Sabert, founder of Frederator Studios. Karp's mother had taught Sabert's children at the Kowloon School and was friends with his wife. Karp was fascinated with the work of Frederator's computer engineers and his visits became regular. After he started homeschooling, Karp also began taking Japanese classes at the Japan Society and saw a math tutor, with whom he worked on writing software for winning at blackjack and poker. When entrepreneur John Maloney sought technical help with Urban Baby, an online parenting forum, a Frederator employee recommended Karp for the job. Karp completed the project, which had to be done in a couple of days, within 4 hours. Maloney made him Urban Baby's head of product and gave him a small amount of equity. At age 17, while still working for Urban Baby, Karp moved alone to Tokyo for 5 months. It was a full 3 months after Karp had moved to Tokyo that Urban Baby found out he wasn't in New York. Karp left Urban Baby after it was sold to Connect in 2006. Using money from the sale of his shares, Karp started his own software consultancy company, Davidville, envisioning a mix of client work and his own products. Marco Arment joined the company as an engineer after replying to Karp's Craigslist ad. Karp had been interested in Tumblr logs for some time and was waiting for one of the established blogging platforms to introduce their own Tumblr logging platform. As no one had done so after a year of waiting, Karp and Arment began working on their own Tumblr logging platform during a 2-week gap between contracts in 2006. Tumblr was launched in February 2007 and within 2 weeks, the service had gained 75,000 users. In October 2007, Karp shut down his consultancy business as his work with Tumblr was interfering with his client work. Davidville was renamed Tumblr, Incorporated, and 25% of the company was sold to a small group of investors. As of December 1, 2014, Tumblr hosts over 213.1 million blogs. On May 20, 2013, it was announced that Yahoo and Tumblr had reached an agreement for Yahoo to acquire Tumblr for $1.1 billion. Karp would remain as CEO. Personal life: as of March 2009, Karp's partner is Rachel Eakley, a psychology graduate and nursing student. However, the pair split in 2014. They live together in Williamsburg with their pet dog, Clark. Karp has made personal investments into several companies including Superpedestrian, Incorporated, the company behind the Copenhagen Wheel, and Sherpa, Incorporated, the startup behind the healthcare app of the same name. References. External links: David Karp's Tumblr, David Karp at the Internet Movie Database, The Way I Work, David Karp of Tumblr. Article by Liz Welch, Incorporated. Magazine: David Karp is Tumblr's reluctant technologist. Article by Tim Wu, T., The New York Times Style Magazine.